Hello, everybody. This is Dave, and today this is going to be a very controversial topic. Okay, this is something I'm going to discuss mostly on Superman. This is going to be based upon his own feats. Now, you could also use this to support other heroes, right? That's if they show the feats or the points that I'm about to go over. Now, it has been widely accepted throughout community that speed does not equal to reaction. Thus, reaction is better, in a way, it is better used than speed itself. This has widely been accepted, meaning speed itself is a lot less useful than quote-unquote combat reaction. So for today's video, this is going to be based on what Superman's been showing and what he has been demonstrating, okay? Now, in order for speed to be irrelevant or useless or less than combat reaction, three arguments must be met. These are the mostly three that has been thrown around very widely. So number one, Superman himself states that he has no control over his speed. 2. Superman actually demonstrates that he is incapable of utilizing flight or reacting during flight. And lastly, 3. There is some sort of authoritative statements or comments saying that Superman's speed and his reactions differ. Now, going over the very first argument, I have not come across a single statement that Superman has no control of his flight, that he is scared of actually flying around and not knowing what he's gonna hit. This is the implication of it. But on the contrary, Superman has demonstrated that he is able to keep focus during flight. One example is when he was responding to Batman's his heart stopped, a hole was blasted in his chest, and so Superman comes in to respond. Now, during his flight, and this happened within a millisecond, Superman stated something very interesting during his flight. He literally stated that he stayed focused and sees everything. This is during his flight. In order for someone not able, or someone to state that he cannot control over speed, this is the very opposite of it. Superman actually is saying that he is focused and that he is trying to see everything in his surroundings. He gets a visual look of it. So the very first point obviously is irrelevant because it literally Superman states himself that he has control of his speed. So the first point is gone. Now for the second point, has Superman ever shown that he is incapable of reacting during flight? Now this is the very on the contrary, because Superman several times has he showed that he utilizes his own speed during combat. And this is how Superman engages his enemy in combat. With full high velocity, he will go and hit his target with precision. Right? He hits it with precision, right? There are several moments in the comics where Superman either hits his target or grabs his target and takes it somewhere else around the solar system or the universe, whatever. And Superman does not miss. We can see that Superman uses strategy when he engages his enemy in combat. For example, when he fought Orion, drilling through planet Earth using his speed, he is still continuing hitting his target. Or when he first initially blitzed Doomsday during the Bizarro universe or the Bizarre dimension, he took him to this cube moon, and in there you could literally see him blitz the entire moon over and over, hitting his target, and explodes. This requires, this is something that requires some sort of reaction, some sort of control. And Superman has demonstrated that several times in combat. Superman has not shown to miss his targets. I have not seen it. This is really an argument that if you're trying to say that speed is relevant in combat, then you're gonna have to provide events where superhero A or B, or Superman in this case, misses his targets. There has never been a time where Superman misses targets. And you cannot use although they are canon, you cannot use other references from other universes to implement it here in the New 52. Okay, this is solely based on New 52. When Superman flies towards his enemy, he reacts and hits his target. Now, at a high velocity, you are required to react accordingly, because with such reactions at such high velocities, you have control of your speed. So now the second point is no longer valid. Now what we have is the last and third point, and that is if there is some sort of authoritative writer or a narrator that says that there is a difference between the two, or that Superman cannot react as fast as his speed, or that he cannot react during his speed. But instead, there are authoritative writers and official guides to say that Superman's speed is as equal as his reaction. Now let's take it from DC's editors group, Brian Cunningham. Now my buddy Super Ghost has asked the question, is there any difference between the two, or do they correlate? And he gave an example using the Flash, that reaction and speed are the same. And there is also official guide, and in it he states his reflexes are equally quick, which is way important, right? This is way important so that he doesn't go crashing upon buildings or anything out there. This is a perfect example when Superman, and this is a movie, Man of Steel. I know it's non-canon, but this is an example where Superman and Zod were going at it, and Superman flying towards Zod, he was hitting him, and now chasing after Zod, Superman searching after him. He's going through all these buildings and he's just moving here and reacting here and there. This is a similar event that happened during the Justice League, during the Dark Side, the very beginning of it, and Superman and the Flash were flying away, or Flash running away from the Omega beams, and you could see throughout that they were dodging buildings, moving through here and there, and cutting corners. It is a perfect example of what is said. So now we have an authoritative writer that stated otherwise. Now, going through all of these evidence, you cannot state that speed is irrelevant. You cannot say that anymore, because there are so many examples where Superman has used his own speed to combat his enemies. So now you have three supportive evidences that suggest that Superman could react on his speed, whatever speed that is, whatever feat there is. That one, he has stated that he has control of his speed, and two, he has demonstrated and physically shown in combat that he can react during flight at high velocities, and three, there is authoritative statements that say that his speed is as equally as needed to react during flight. Now let's go over some of his mid feats. Now this is where Superman, after fighting Lex Luthor had this mecha suit on, and he had kryptonite, and he could radiate red sunlight. After his fight against Lex Luthor, Superman goes to the sun within a small little comment section, which takes about a few seconds to read. He is already at the sun. This puts Superman around the 100 times faster than light. Now, another similar event is when Superman was finished bench pressing the weight of the earth for 5 days straight. Now, in one of his sentences, it says a few days, but then he continues on the very next scan, and you can see like the space between, he's already back at Earth. So even if we just within a half a second, I mean, I don't even know how long it takes for words to come out, and the space between, the little silence in between. But even if we just say it took half a second for Superman to say those words, it clocks Superman in at 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. Now, another event is when Superman came back from Pluto back to Earth when he was chasing the outlaws. Now, there's a lot of debate whether he actually beat teleportation or not, but let's just say that he didn't. This still puts Superman at 10,000 to over 14,000 times faster than the speed of light. And this is Superman doing it casually. So, bottom line, Superman's speed cannot be ignored. You cannot say it is irrelevant, or you cannot say that it does not count in combat. Superman uses speed in combat. That's what he is, that's what he does. This is comics. This is not an animated series. So when you speak about a superhero, if they show the qualities of speed and reacting during in combat, it is safe to say. And it's even better if you have a writer or some sort of narration, something official, something with authoritative, that speed itself is used or is very useful in combat. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And again, if you guys love the content that I'm bringing out, you guys love anything about New 52 Superman and his feats and the arguments for it, just go ahead and like and subscribe. And a happy new year to everybody out there, to all of my fans out there. Have a very happy new year. Be safe out there. And everybody, thanks again for watching. Until next time.